Hey Flosstube, it's Ashley here for my August WIP update. Today is September 7th and hopefully you are seeing this today. Hopefully I get my butt in gear and actually get this filmed and edited and uploaded tonight, but we'll see. We actually just passed my Flosstube first anniversary last Friday on the 2nd, so that's pretty exciting. I know a lot of people are coming up on and have just celebrated their anniversaries here on Flosstube, so congratulations to everybody. It's great seeing your videos. There are several people around Flosstube who have had other things going on and have just, life has gotten in the way, and I really miss seeing those people. I hope everybody is able to get to a point in their lives where they can just do what they enjoy, which is stitching and crafting, and if part of that is also posting videos on Flosstube, I hope everybody gets that opportunity. So August was kind of a crazy month. We're going to talk about a couple of things. I have 3 finishes. One of them is quilting related, and then I have 3 WIPs mostly that I worked on this past month. And then the haul I have is actually from 2 swaps that I was in. And then we're going to talk about something that's been driving me crazy, but we'll probably do that during the WIPs. So the first thing we're going to go into is we're going to go into finishes. So my first finish was for a craft swap on Instagram. It was the PBS show craft swap. And an angel was needed, and when I was speaking to the swap host rather, she let me know she needed an angel. I knew exactly what I was going to make right off the bat. I looked at the mosaics for the swapper involved and got her information. I instantly knew what I was going to make. So the first item I made was this Downton pillow, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture of it here. And this was made by, this pattern for the cross stitch was made by an Etsy Snail's Crossing. And so I had bought this months and months ago, back when I had bought the Downton fabric. I believe I showed in one of my previous videos. And with the idea of making this Downton pillow for myself, but when this swap came up and an angel was needed, I instantly knew I had the stuff to make this pillow. I had the fabric, the quilting, the actual cotton fabric, and I knew I had the pattern. So that night I actually went out to Joann's, I bought the floss, and got started on the very next day. And so I actually got the swap information on a Thursday and shipped, not the next Monday, but the following Monday after that. So a little over a week and a half, everything was made and shipped out. So I really enjoyed this pattern. I thought it was really easy. Now, granted, Downton Abbey, those of you who don't know, Highclere Castle in England is the actual building, and Downton Abbey is the name of the location in the show. But it just lends itself to really easy stitching, color blocks, and there wasn't that much counting, and so I was able to whip that up and finish it fairly quickly. The second thing I made is this mini quilt, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert a picture of the front first. And so that is paper piecing, which is the, and the saying is from the show I Am Sherlock. It's on Irene Adler's phone. It's a big thing in that episode if you don't watch Sherlock. And that, just so you know, I'm looking up the name of that seller. So the seller of the letters for the paper piecing is from Blank Pages on Etsy. And they're really small. They only come out to about, I think, 2.5, 3 inches square. They're really easy. I've really enjoyed picking up paper piecing. It's something that I enjoy. I move everything in this upstairs craft room. I move the ironing board over by my desk, which is where I set up my sewing machine. And so that is why we are in a different corner of the room, because this room is a mess right now. Trying to get those 2 swaps, that swap done, the angel gift done, just the room is a mess. It needs to be cleaned, and I'm not doing it on a Wednesday. In fact, I am so not doing it on Wednesday. I have wine. I don't care about my face and my hair. We're going ahead. We're getting this video up, and it's going to be a thing. It's going on the internet. I don't care, but I'm having wine. So that was the front. And for anybody who has seen Sherlock, Sherlock has wallpaper with this kind of black, white, brown damask. And he spray paints in one of the episodes a smiley face on it in yellow spray paint. And so for the back, I did this, which I'm going to go ahead and paste an image of here. And so I wanted to kind of create that same effect of spray paint where it's not even, so I didn't want to do applique on it. So I actually went ahead and used the quilting foot? Something foot on my, like the freehand quilting foot on my machine, which is the first time I'd done that. I hadn't done that before. And used yellow thread, excuse me, and just stitched the circle over and over and over again and did the eyes and did the mouth. And I'm really happy with the way that turned out. That was my first time doing that, and so I sent that off to my partner. I also made her one of these Downton Abbey needle minders. I always have folks asking where I got this, and for anybody who wants to know, I actually made it. It is a pin that I bought from the PBS store. I cut off with wire clippers the pin bits on the back, used a literal nail file and filed down the sharp edges, and then just super glued, actually Gorilla Glued, a magnet on the back. And so that's something that I went ahead and sent to her as well. So those are my two of my finishes, 2 of my 3 finishes. My last finish for the month is Gigi. So I was determined to get Gigi done last month. I really wanted to have my first Mira Nora Corbett finish ever. And I'm feeling really awful. Like, I feel like I've gotten nothing. I have no finishes for the year. And so I was looking back on last year and I was like, I had 11 finishes last year. And then I remembered that every single one of those 11 finishes was since August. I had never had a finish prior to August of last year. I had never fully finished anything. So I need to stop being hard on myself. And I need to decide when I don't like a project to let it go. Like Snow White. But I really wanted to get her done. And so she is done. Her stitching is done. Her beading is done. And here she is. And she needs to be ironed again. She's got something wrong with her down here, but oh, there she is. She is done. And her teal sassy self, she's done. And this fabric is by Hand Dyed Fabric by Stephanie. It is a 28 count opal linen in Rhiannon, I believe. And this is one of the fabrics, I believe I posted in one of my early videos where a friend of mine had sent me a large amount of fabric from her stash. And I'm pretty sure this was one of them. But now that I'm thinking about it, I might be wrong. This might have been my first fabric of the month. Fabric. From Hand Dyed by Steph. So she's done. And she's got stray threads all over her. But I used, she's got sparkly in her broom. She's got petite treasure braid in the broom top. And I can't wait to decide how I'm going to actually fully finish her. I don't know if I'm going to frame her. Well, obviously I'm going to frame her. But I don't know where I'm going to put her. Maybe on this big blank empty wall right here, which is providing for a very fun and interesting background. Sorry, this is a really good one. It is a Francis Coppola Viognier Reserve. I can't remember the year. I never look at the year. I never order the wine. My boyfriend orders the wine. I just drink it. I also don't pay for it. So let's go ahead and talk about WIPs. I really have 3. That's about it. That's all I'm going to talk about. I may or may not have worked on a couple of other things. I worked on a round robin. I don't have it anymore. I do have one, but I'm not going to show it to you because I've done like 100 stitches on it. I also have a yarn knitting project. I don't care enough to get up and show it to you. But we're going to go ahead and go into my WIPs. The first one is Twisted Rainbow, which I think I worked on for a whole 2 hours the entire month. And here it is. I think last time you saw it, I was here. In the same row. In the same color. Here's a picture of it finished. It is on a 32 count linen in pearl gray. I haven't worked on it much. I need to work on it because this is one of the 2 projects I want to have done before the end of the year. I have 3 projects I want to start in January for the new year, and in order to do that, I have to get rid of this. So it needs to be done. I need to finish it. I love it. I love this project, but I haven't felt like working on it. Actually, I haven't felt like working on a bunch of things, but Twisted Rainbow. That's that one. Next one I have worked on is, we're going to go ahead and start here. This is Stargazer by Mirabilia. She is stitched on, now my notes say 32 count. It might be 28 count. But we'll go with what my notes say. My notes say it's a 32 count. Picture this plus Lugana in Nocturne. Here she is. Since the last time you saw her, I've gotten more done down here. And it doesn't look like a lot. I really feel like I've gotten nothing done this month. But there she is. She is the other project I want to have done prior to the end. Oh, sorry. I am so out of it this evening. Maybe I don't need to be drinking wine. Here's a picture of the completed project. So she is the other project I want to have done prior to the end of the year, because my rule is I can only have, in theory, because we saw what happened with Gigi. But Gigi was different because Gigi was at a crazy time in the year and I needed something to work on because I was killing myself trying to learn life insurance, and I wanted to work on something I wanted to work on. Anyway, I can only have one lady at a time, and so I can't start Lavender Lace, the Celtic Noel, whatever it is, the Christmas lady, until she's done. And I want to start her in the new year. I also, in the new year, wait. No, sorry, I have 4 things I want to start in the new year that I can't start until I get projects done. But we won't talk about that until December because one of those might not ever happen. Anyway, that's Stargazer. Basically, I've done this blue, this color here, and the bottom of her skirt. That's it. So last up we have the Dumbledore cross stitch quote for the Harry Potter swap by Pop Goes the Needle on Etsy. And here's a picture of the completed design. And here's where I am now. All I have to do is finish this wand. And so here's where we are going to go down the rabbit hole, and we are going to talk about this thread here. So this right here is glow in the dark, because the quote is, happiness can only be found in the darkest of time. Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. I thought it would be cool to have light be glow in the dark. And then it can only glow in the dark if you turn on the light. It's really profound. Anyway. So this right here, what I wound up stitching in, after 4 attempts of finding glow in the dark, is Petite Treasure Braid. We all know, most of us, actually I shouldn't say that. I prefer Petite Treasure Braid everything over Krennic anything. I don't like Krennic. So when it came time to pick glow in the dark, we're going to have a discussion. So here's the picture I posted on Instagram and for my check-in for that swap of the word light glowing in the dark. So I think that looks awesome. There's no filter on that. That is just, I used the light on my iPhone to activate the thread and took the picture as soon as I turned the light off. Awesome. It's beautiful. It's kind of stupid how pretty it looks. So, but we're going to go back to the beginning. When I originally decided, hey, that's cool, Ashley. Let's take this really cool pattern and make it original, and we're going to put the word light in glow in the dark. We started with the 2 obvious choices of glow in the dark. I knew that DMC made a glow in the dark, and I knew that Krennic made a glow in the dark. This is the devil. I have been keeping this around only so that I could show it to you and tell you that it is the devil. It is, so this is, what is this? What size braid are you? What size braid? What are you? You're very fine number 4. This is the worst, crappiest crap I've ever tried to stitch with. It's awful. It's thick. It gets tangled. It looks like crap when you actually get to stitch with it. Like the stitches look like crap. It is god-awful crap. It glows really good, and I'm going to show you a picture of that in a moment. It does really, it glows. But it's crap, and now that I've shown it to you, I'm throwing it in the trash can because I never want to see it again. It was crap. And this is why this room is a mess, because I just threw it and missed the trash can that's overflowing with scraps from sewing, and now it's on the floor somewhere. So after Krennic, we have DMC, which is also not our friend. This is not as bad. It's not as bad. I'll give it that. But it is so, I'm probably not going to be able to show this to you. It is so loosely wound. Like, it immediately, first off, when you've got it straight out of the skein, it immediately comes apart, right? And so you isolate, you pull one of those threads out, and like of course it's not going to do it now because I'm trying to show you, it snags on everything. I tried to use it. I didn't even try to use it on this project. I wasn't even going to do it. I felt it and I was like, no. But a member of Instagram, when I posted that picture of my project with the glow in the dark, said, oh, I wonder how the DMC is. And I said, well, I have it. I'll show you. And so I stitched with it, and I was using Black Ada, and it snagged every single time I pulled it through. And I don't know if my hands were really dry. I need to get a manicure, so my cuticles are horrible, but it was snagging on my own skin. Like, I would have my hand behind it to catch the needle, and the needle would slide through my fingers and the thread would catch on my finger. Or I'd be pulling it through the back and somehow it would get looped right against my cuticle and it would snag. This is crap too. there's another reason why it's crap. And we'll talk about that in a second. And here, and so then we have Petite Treasure braid, which it feels just like regular Petite Treasure braid to me. It doesn't really have much of a difference. It is sparkly, but I don't care. It glows. It performs just like regular Petite Treasure braid. This is awesome. I don't remember where I got it. I don't remember how much I paid for it. But if you're going to do something with glow in the dark, if you're going to put in that much effort and thought to actually say, hey, I want this to glow in the dark, do me a grand favor. Don't drive yourself crazy. Just buy the Petite Treasure braid. You'll thank me later. Just go for this. Don't go for the other crap. Okay, so to prove it to you, I'm going to show you a picture, and this is actually straight from Instagram. So the top is going to be what it looked like just straight up stitched. And you'll notice that I didn't even finish stitching the 4x3 block for the Krennic. I refused to work with it anymore. The DMC got so snagged that I couldn't finish. And the Petite Treasure braid has awesome coverage. It looks great. It looks neat. The end. The second one down is right after I turned off the light. And of course I have hiccups. So the second one down is right after I turned off the light. And you'll notice that the DMC doesn't glow worth a shit as compared to the other two. So the Krennic glows pretty well. Actually, just as well as the Petite Treasure braid, if not better at that point. But it's horrible to work with. The Petite Treasure braid looks just as good, glows just as well, has better coverage. Anyway, the third one down is 30 seconds after I turned off the light. And you'll notice that while the Krennic and the Petite Treasure braid are still glowing pretty well, you can barely see the DMC at this point. And then the bottom one is 60 seconds after I remove the light. The DMC and the Petite Treasure braid have dimmed a little. Sorry, the Krennic and the Petite Treasure braid have dimmed a little, but the DMC is gone. And that's after 60 seconds. And so while the other two, one of them is horrible to work with, they at least glow for a little while. But the Petite Treasure braid is the way to go. And that's all I'm going to say about that anymore. Because my nose itches. And I'm out of wine. So those are my 3 WIPs. Those are the main things I worked on that are still not finished. The other 3 things I worked on for a while, but they're finished. You saw them. Give me it. Anyway, you get the point. So we're going to talk about swaps. So you'll remember in my last video, I questioned my own sanity because I was hosting this swap, right? Like, people suck and they never do what they're going to say they're going to do. I'm hosting another one. It's Joss Whedon themed. The reason why I decided to go ahead and host it is because 2 months ago I put out a post on Instagram asking if there was going to be any interest in it. A bunch of people responded, and then I felt bad not actually hosting it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about 4 things that I got from 2 craft swaps. And the first thing is this cross-stitched hoop that says on Wednesdays we were a pink, which is very similar to the one I made, which also said on Wednesdays we were a pink. The next thing I received is this hoop that says, 4 for you, Glen Coco, you go Glen Coco. Anybody who's seen the movie will understand that. I love the Glen Coco line. It's something I frequently bring up in conversation. The next swap items I received were for the Time Hop swap, which was the one where you pick your favorite era in time, and your partner crafts something for that. And so the first thing I received was this mug rug with a coffee cup that says Ashley. And this is just beautiful. I need to take this to work and put it on my desk. And the next thing I received, just, I have to show it. It's not even remotely cross-stitch related. No, not really. But it's beautiful. Like, I wanted to scream when I opened this box. So I really love Victorian fashion. I love corsets. I particularly love bustle skirts. It's just that era. I just really love historical fashion in general. It doesn't even have to be Victorian. It could be Edwardian, or it could be anything. I love historical fashion. So my partner made me this mini of this bustle dress. Look at that. Isn't that just amazing? So she hand appliqued on this dress, which has a bustle on it, so I wanted to scream. And it has 3 dimension to it. And it's just, I love the quilting technique she used on this too. I believe she hand quilted this. I think she told me she hand quilted this. I love the texture of it. I love this. This is beautiful. So I'm not going to mention the names of my partners here because I don't know if they want their names mentioned on Flosstube. I don't even know if they watch Flosstube, but this, to my partner who made this for me, this is, if you see this, this is, I don't have words to describe this. This is absolutely freaking beautiful, and I love it. And it's gorgeous. So that's all I have to show you. I feel like I've ranted for a very long time for a video that I said was going to be short and have nothing in it. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go because I can't have the AC on in this room when I'm filming. It's 82 degrees outside. It's fucking hot. So I'm going to let you go. I hope everybody has a great September. I'm going to go take my potty mouth and go edit this video and get it uploaded. I need to stop drinking when I'm recording, apparently. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I hope everybody has a great September. I will see you all at the end of the month. And thanks for watching. Bye.